Shortly, Collingwood and Fitzroy from Victoria Park, but first of all, let's go up to the offices of the Sunday Press, and we say a very good evening to the sporting editor, Scot Palmer.
Good evening, Peter. Welcome viewers back into the sports room at the Sunday Press. Business tycoon John Elliott was in the Carlton powwow after today's defeat. 50 minutes it lasted, and all coach David Parkin would comment after it was, "We'll be training at 8 tomorrow morning instead of 9. The Blues then will be counting their injuries. Ashman has a suspected fracture of the cheek. Buckley has a thigh. Montgomery and Harms were both limping. And David Glascott was wheeled out on a stretcher tonight with concussion. He's expected to spend the night in hospital. Essendon coach Kevin Sheedy said the Bombers are a more disciplined side than last year. It was our best form for 3 weeks, he said. And I'm looking for a place in the top 3 in the finals, he said. St Kilda is in the wars again tonight. 2 players, Glenn Middlemiss and Jeff Cunningham, are reported for striking in that last quarter at the MCG. And the Saints are screaming about it. It's Glenn's 3rd time up this season. Coach Tony Jewell was pleased with the side's effort, however. "You couldn't expect more from a bunch of kids against a side like that," said Tony. "With our full team in, it might have been different." Richmond coach Mike Patterson said, "We are slowly getting there." He was pleased with the way the Tigers converted today. They kicked 16 straight between the 28-minute mark of the second quarter and the 8th minute of the last. But Michael Roach is a problem. He strained a muscle in his groin. Some nasty injuries came out of the Hawthorn North match today. North's Angelo Petraglia is in the Royal Melbourne Hospital tonight with a broken nose and an injured eye caused by a stray finger. Peter Smith also has a broken nose and a strained cruciate ligament. Coach Barry Cable was pleased for 3 quarters but said his players now have to learn to play pressure football in the last quarter like the top sides. Peter Knights is a worry for the Hawks. He strained his groin as well. Despite the legal wrangle over Glenn McLean, the Magpies say the Demon Ruckman will be in their side to play next week. They were claiming at 5 p.m. tonight the 15 days was up and Melbourne hadn't matched the offer for McLean. John Cale said the Magpies will improve further with Dacos and Richardson back next week and maybe Graham Teasdale. The 4 points look good for John today, he said. Robbie Wall said, "We just have to keep on trying." Footscray's Mickey Malthouse didn't deliver a blast to the Bulldogs at VFL Park today. He said all that was said out on the ground. He blames the side's lack of depth for the present position they're in. Lunn and Wallace are his 2 latest casualties. Ron Barassi was strangely quiet after the big victory out there. He said the young players at Melbourne are starting to bloom. He was also prized with the Bulldog effort today. You can read all about that in the best sports pages in town in the Sunday Press tomorrow. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Scotty. Paul Salmon has topped the 50 mark in the leading goal kickers. He got a further 7 today, 50 for the season, so looks set certainly to crack the ton. Warren Ralph only 2 today. Taylor has 37. Tony Lockett, of course, injured at the moment. Jackson is suspended, won't be playing tomorrow, and Bernie Quillen got 4 goals today for a total of 34.